Parashat Terumah, Exodus 25:1 through 27:19. Hashem spoke to Moses, saying, "Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts for me from every person whose heart is so moved. And these are the gifts that you shall accept from them: gold, silver, and copper, blue, purple, and crimson yarns, fine linen, goat's hairs, tamed, tanned ram skins, dolphin skins, and acacia wood, oil for lighting, spices for anointing oil and for the aromatic incense, lapis lazuli, and other stones for setting, for the ephod and for the breastpiece. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them, exactly as I show you the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all its furnishings, so you shall make it. They shall make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, a cubit and a half wide, and a cubit and a half high. Overlay it with pure gold, overlay it inside and out, and make upon it a gold molding round about. Cast 4 gold rings for it, and be attached to its 4 feet. To ring 2 rings on one of its side walls and 2 on the other. Make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Then insert the poles into the rings on the side walls of the ark for carrying the ark. The poles shall remain in the rings for the ark; they shall not be removed from it. And deposit in the ark the tablets of the pact, which I will give you.
Second Aliyah. You shall make a cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and a cubit and a half wide. Make 2 cherubim of gold. Make them of hammered work at the 2 ends of the cover. Make 1 cherub at one end and the other cherub at the other end. Of one piece with the cover shall you make the cherubim at its 2 ends. The cherubim shall have their wings spread out above, shielding the cover with their wings. They shall confront each other, the faces of the cherubim being turned toward the cover. Place the cover on top of the ark, after depositing inside the ark the pact that I will give you. There I will meet with you, and I will impart to you from above the cover, from between the 2 cherubim that are on top of the ark of the pact, all that I will command you concerning the Israelite people. You shall make a table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long and 1 cubit wide, and a cubit and a half high. Overlay it with pure gold, and make a gold molding around it. Make a rim of a hand's breadth around it, and make a gold molding for its rim round about. Make 4 gold rings for it, and attach the rings to the 4 corners as its 4 legs. The rings shall be next to the rim, as holders for poles to carry the table. Make the poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. By these the table shall be carried. Make its bowls, ladles, jars, and jugs, with which to offer libations. Make them of pure gold. And on the table you shall set the bread of display, to be before me always.
Third Aliyah. You shall make a lampstand of pure gold. The lampstand shall be made of hammered work. Its base and its shaft, its cups, calyxes, and petals shall be of one piece. 6 branches shall issue from its sides. 3 branches from one side of the lampstand, and 3 branches from the other side of the lampstand. On one branch there shall be 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with calyx and petals. On the next branch there shall be 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with calyx and petals. So for all 6 branches issuing from the lampstand. On the lampstand itself there shall be 4 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with calyx and petals. A calyx of one piece with it under a pair of branches, and a calyx of one piece with it under the second pair of branches, and a calyx of one piece with it under the last pair of branches. So for all 6 branches issuing from the lampstand. Their calyxes and their stems shall be of one piece with it, the whole of it, a single hammered piece of pure gold. Make it 7 lamps. The lamps shall be so mounted as to give light on its front side, and its tongs and fire pans of pure gold, which shall be made with all these furnishings out of a talent of pure gold. Note well and follow the patterns for them that are being shown to you on the mountain. As for the tabernacle, make it of 10 strings, make it of 10 strips of cloth. Make these of fine twisted linen, of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, with a design of cherubim worked into them. The length of each cloth shall be 28 cubits, and the width of each cloth shall be 4 cubits. All the cloths have the same measurements. 5 of the cloths shall be joined to one another, and the other 5 cloths shall be joined to one another. Make loops of blue wool on the edge of the outermost cloth of the one set, and do likewise on the edge of the outermost cloth of the outer set. Make 50 loops on the one cloth, and 50 loops on the edge of the end cloth of the other set, the loops to be opposite one another, and make 50 gold clasps, and couple the cloths to one another with the clasps, so that the tabernacle becomes one whole. Shall then make cloths of goat's hair for a tent over the tabernacle. Make the cloths 11 in number. The length of each cloth shall be 30 cubits, and the width of each cloth shall be 4 cubits. The 11 cloths that have the same measurements. Join 5 of the cloths by themselves, and the other 6 cloths by themselves, and fold over the 6th cloth at the front of the tent. Make 50 loops on the edge of the outermost cloth of the one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the cloth of the other set. Make 50 copper clasps, and fit the clasps into the loops, and couple the tent together so that it becomes one whole. As for the overlapping excess of the cloths of the tent, the extra half cloth shall overlap the back of the tabernacle, while the extra cubit at either end of each length of tent cloth shall hang down to the bottom of the 2 sides of the tabernacle and cover it. And make for the tent a covering of tanned ram skins and a covering of dolphin skins above.
4th Aliyah. You shall make the planks for the tabernacle of acacia wood upright. The length of each plank shall be 10 cubits, and the width of each plank a cubit and a half. Each plank shall have 2 tenons parallel to each other. Do the same with all the planks of the tabernacle. Of the planks of the tabernacle, make 20 planks on the south side, making 40 silver sockets under the 20 planks, 2 sockets under the one plank for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under each following plank for its 2 tenons. And for the other side wall of the tabernacle, on the north side, 20 planks with their 40 silver sockets, 2 sockets under the one plank, and 2 sockets under each following plank. And for the rear of the tabernacle to the west, make 6 planks, and make 2 planks for the corners of the tabernacle at the rear. They shall match at the bottom, and terminate alike at the top inside one ring. Thus shall it be with both of them. They shall form the 2 corners. Thus there shall be 8 planks with their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under the first plank, and 2 sockets under each of the other planks. You shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the planks on the one side wall of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the planks on the other side wall of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the planks on the wall of the tabernacle at the rear to the west. The center bar halfway up the planks shall run from end to end. Overlay the planks with gold, and make their rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. Then set up the tabernacle according to the manner of it that you were shown on the mountain.
5th Aliyah. You shall make a curtain of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and fine twisted linens. It shall have a design of cherubim worked into it. Hang it upon 4 posts of acacia wood, overlaid with gold and having hooks of gold, set in 4 sockets of silver. Hang the curtain under the clasps, and carry the ark of the pact there, behind the curtain, so that the curtain shall serve you as a partition between the holy and the holy of holies. Place the cover upon the ark of pact of the pact in the Holy of Holies. Place the table outside the curtain and the lampstand by the south wall of the tabernacle, opposite the table, which is to be placed by the north wall. You shall make a screen for the entrance of the tent of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and fine linen, twisted linen done in embroidery. Make 5 posts of acacia wood for the screen and overlay them with gold, their hooks being of gold, and cast for them 5 sockets of copper.
6th Aliyah. You shall make the altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar is to be square and 3 cubits high. Make its horns on the 4 corners, the horns to be of one piece with it and overlaid with copper. Make the pails for removing its ashes, as well as its scrapers, basins, flesh hooks, and fire pans. Make all its utensils of copper. Make for it a grating of meshwork in copper, and on the mesh make 4 copper rings at its 4 corners. Set the mesh below under the ledge of the altar so that it extends to the middle of the altar. And make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with copper. The poles shall be inserted into the rings, so that the poles remain on the 2 sides of the altar when it is carried. Make it hollow of boards. As you were shown on the mountain, so shall they be made.
7th Aliyah. You shall make the enclosure of the tabernacle, on the south side, 100 cubits of hangings of fine twisted linen for the length of the enclosure on that side, with its 20 posts and their 20 sockets of copper, the hooks and bands of the posts to be of silver. Again, 100 cubits of hangings for its length along the north side, with its 20 posts and their 20 sockets of copper, the hooks and bands of the posts to be of silver. For the width of the enclosure, on the west side, 50 cubits of hangings, with their 10 posts and their 10 sockets. For the width of the enclosure on the front, or east side, 50 cubits, 15 cubits of hangings on the one flank, with their 3 posts and their 3 sockets. 15 cubits of hangings on the other flank, with their 3 posts and their 3 sockets. And for the gate of the enclosure, a screen of 20 cubits, of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and fine twisted linen, done in embroidery, with their 4 posts and their 4 sockets. All the posts round the enclosure shall be banded with silver, and their hooks shall be silver. Their sockets shall be of copper. The length of the enclosure shall be 100 cubits, and the width 50 throughout, and the height 5 cubits, with hangings of fine twisted linen. The sockets shall be of copper, and the utensils of the tabernacle for all its services, as well as all its pegs and all the pegs of the court, shall be of copper.